Welcome to the Blind Justice Podcast, where you discover the insider secrets of injury and accident cases, and all of your law questions get answered. Now, here's your host, Chicago injury lawyer, Scott DeSalvo.
Hey, everybody. It is the Amelia Finefrock podcast with our special guest, Scott DeSalvo.
What?
Figured I'd spin it around on folks.
Yeah, so we're going to be singing this entire podcast.
Oh,
Hope that's cool with
Jesus.
you. And then we're going to do 15 impressions in the span of 20 minutes.
Go! I'm cool with that. I'm not sure the listeners want to listen to me sing.
They'll be like, wait a minute. You can
Yeah.
sing talk.
I could. It's
Like Kesha
just,
does. She'll be like, sing talk, da da.
Yeah,
Just
but I don't have the ability to,
Keep in
what's
time?
it called?
sing
Auto-tune.
Auto-tune. We don't have that feature yet?
No. Next week,
right.
we'll talk to the production department about auto-tune.
Get the interns on it.
100%, because
Yeah.
they're crackerjack. They're
What does that mean?
like G.I. Joe.
Cracker Jack.
I don't know.
Does it mean like you just have so
They're
many
on
of them?
it. They're on.
They're drizzled in caramel?
Yeah, no.
and peanuts?
If I had an intern and if I drizzled them in caramel, I'm pretty sure I would get sued.
Probably.
Completely
Unless they
inappropriate.
were into that kind of thing and they're like, yeah.
Even still, it's an employment relationship. I don't feel comfortable with it.
Plus, think of your like nice chairs just be sticky all the time. They need to
I
explain
don't.
why
you
they're
know,
sticky.
I am going to report you to HR. 100% I am. I'm feeling really uncomfortable. So we're continuing our series of answering questions. If folks have questions, they can submit them to me at service@desalvolaw.com, and we'll answer them on air. Or you can call me at 888-HURT-318, and I'll actually talk to you privately about your case. Or you can call Jessica at the office, 312-895-0545, extension 8, and leave your question with her, and I'll either call you back and answer it personally, or if you'd like to have it featured on the podcast, we can do that too. So we've got a sort of interesting and different question. It's a little bit different than some of the common ones we've answered recently. Amelia, would you please do the honors?
Yes. I have a question for the Chicago truck accident lawyer. I was on the expressway and I was rear-ended by a semi-truck. Oof. My car was totaled and I had to be towed from the scene. I felt okay at the scene of the crash, but I started having some neck pain. I was busy with the holidays, but I saw my family doctor again after the holidays and my neck was worse. Now, he referred me to a specialist surgeon, and the surgeon did an MRI. The surgeon says that the spinal cord is compressed, and I need to have surgery. That explains the numbness I have down my left arm. If I do not do the surgery, the doctor says it could get worse and be permanent. My problem is the police report. It shows an insurance agency, not the actual insurance company, and the agency will not call me back with the insurance information. What can I do?
Okay. That's horrible. So
That is awful.
Yeah, the first thing I want to say is, I'm not a doctor. I don't have any medical training, and what we talk about on the podcast is for informational purposes only. It doesn't substitute actually consulting with an attorney who does all the investigation. Mm-hmm. But this is what I can tell you. I've been doing this for about 20 years, and over the course of that 20 years, I've learned a little bit about medicine, right? Mm-hmm. When you have a neck or back injury with spinal cord compression, what that means is either your disc material or bone is protruding into the hollow space in your spine where your nerves are. Oh. And so cord compression is the actual nerves in your spine being compressed.
That is not good.
Yeah, depending on how compressed the nerves are, that can literally mean that you're doing permanent damage to your nerves, right?
Yeah.
And the pain down the arm, very common when you have a spinal cord injury where there's nerve compression, right?
God. Yeah.
Because your nerves basically go from your brain and then through your spine and then out to all the parts of your body. And the nerves are why you can feel things and why you can move your body, right? So they call it radicular symptoms when somebody has like neck pain, but it's shooting down an arm.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Wait. Terrible. Pretty sure you're going to hell for making fun of radicular symptoms.
I'm pretty sure.
Amongst other reasons.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so, I mean, super, super serious. If you have doubts about doctor number one, grab a copy of the MRI and go get a second opinion immediately. But
you
don't
mess
delay.
Around with that. I mean,
No, you can't.
That's scary.
I mean, the thing is, nerves have a limited ability to regenerate. So if you wait too long to have that surgery to take the pressure off the nerve, you could have permanent damage, which could mean paralysis or weakness or like a buzzing or tingling in that arm for the rest of your life.
It's just not good.
Yeah,
That's
it's
terrible.
really, really serious deal.
Yeah.
Obviously, I wanted to take the medical thing seriously. Like, you can't horse around with that.
No, you can't.
The other thing is with here's something that's good news. Whenever you get into a crash with a commercial vehicle, like a semi-truck or like a McDonald's or a Coca-Cola or a Bridgestone tire truck,
Right.
that's a big corporation, and they have commercial insurance policies for their trucks. And they're usually like $1 million insurance policies or more, or even with an umbrella policy.
Wow.
So an umbrella policy is when insurance company one insures me up to $1 million, and then from $1,001,000 all the way up to $10 million, it's another insurance company providing that coverage.
So
right?
they can afford to.
Well, if God forbid this person needs spine surgery, sometimes people who have spine surgery for an injury like this end up having 2 or 3 surgeries, right?
That's terrible.
And it could be that they lose their job or they can't return. Did they say anything about loss of work or?
Yeah, let's see. So it looks like
Yeah, they didn't.
If he needs the surgery because it could get worse and be permanent, and it sounds like he probably couldn't continue work if that were the case.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on what kind of job he does. If it's a desk job, more likely, but if it's a physical job, might not be able to return to it if it's a heavy-duty job.
Right.
But it depends on the type of spine surgery and all that. So the good news is commercial insurance in a truck accident, really important to know. I mean, one of the first things a Chicago truck accident lawyer is going to do is investigate the limits of the commercial policy.
Right.
Another thing is it's very common when a trucker is out of state, we'll get a police report and the guy driving the truck is different than the person who owns the truck, who's different from the guy who owns the trailer.
Oh, jeez.
And then the insurance company.
How do you keep that organized? That's
Well,
crazy.
it's you have to investigate the case, right? And the problem is, normal Joe and Jane public, right? It's hard for them to do the investigation and figure out whose insurance is this? Isn't it agency? Is it a actual insurance company?
Right.
What is this insurance number? Is it actually a policy number?
Yeah,
or
how are you supposed to know?
No, right. And so that's one of the things that a Chicago truck accident lawyer can do for you if you've been involved in a crash with a truck, especially in out of state. Like, we had one where we ended up suing 4 different entities because there was like a guy who was driving the truck who worked for another guy, and the truck was owned by a third party and the trailer was owned by another party.
Oh, my God.
Right? But
Jeez.
a layperson wouldn't know that.
Of course
and
not, no.
luckily I had enough time to investigate the case. So super sorry that this happened to you, but definitely get checked out. And
Yeah.
I would, if I were you, if you were my brother or you were my sister and this happened to you, and even if I wasn't an injury lawyer, I would tell you, you better hire somebody to represent you on this case because you have potentially life-changing injuries with a defendant who might be financially responsible enough to take care of you if all the ducks are in a row.
Right.
Right? In a small case, it's easy to screw the case up and it's horrible when it happens. But if we're talking about a temporary neck injury, it's horrible but not a tragedy.
Right.
Having this sort of very, very serious injury when there's a commercial policy that may be worth millions of dollars, you
Go
don't
after
want
it.
you don't want to do anything wrong.
No.
You want to get an injury attorney who knows what they're doing. And the other thing is calling the insurance agency. They're not afraid of a layperson, but when they get a letter from a lawyer, they start sweating it.
Oh, I'm sure.
And different states have different laws about how, responsible to injured people an insurance company has to be or an insurance agency has to be.
Yeah.
Turns out in Illinois, insurance companies get away with quite a lot, but there are other states like New Jersey and in Florida, if an insurance company jerks you around, you can immediately file suit against them
Really?
bad faith for not cooperating with
We
you.
need to have that up here.
Yeah, it would
That's
be nice.
Great.
I always joke around and say Illinois is sort of like a refuge state for insurance companies, right? What do they always say? Like a where
We're the sanctuary.
sanctuary state.
Yeah.
I always say Illinois is like a sanctuary state for insurance companies because some of the laws and rules
sounds
is
like
pretty
it.
lax in Illinois.
Jeez.
But I'm very sorry to hear about your situation. Definitely get checked out.
Please do.
If you have concern about it, get a second opinion for such a serious surgery. Definitely get a good lawyer on board.
That affects your whole life. That can affect your family life, your work life. I mean, sleeping.
Yeah,
Eating. I mean,
truck crashes are no joke. And you know, it's funny, until you have a neck injury or a back injury, you don't realize how it affects everything you do.
It's the epicenter of your person.
And this person has pain down the left arm. We don't know if that's the dominant hand or not.
Right.
But whether it is or not, I
Still.
mean, weakness and pain in an arm when you were otherwise healthy, not cool.
You can't pick up your babies or your toddler, or your grandkids, or toddlers, or it's life's made up of moments like that. You don't want to have to sacrifice it.
Or maybe even not able to work and get an income.
Right.
Crazy. Folks, thanks for listening.
Mm-hmm.
You can subscribe to my YouTube channel where we post these, and I also have dozens and dozens of other injury lawyers that explain stuff, or I have a free injury book and DVD.
Ooh.
I offer it free to anybody who's been injured. It mainly pertains to Illinois injury law, but injury principles are pretty similar all over the place. It's probably worth listening to no matter where you've been injured, but it was written from Illinois injury law perspective because it's where I'm licensed and it's where I practice.
And how can I get that?
Well, they can get it by filling out a form. They can get electronic copies emailed to them immediately by going to my website and filling out the form, or they can call 888-HURT-318 and tell the operator that they want the free injury DVD and book. Give us your mailing address and name, and we'll mail it out to you for free.
Sweet.
Yeah. I self-publish the book, and I produce the DVD and the CD and all the other stuff in-house to keep the cost down, and I give it out for free because in all these cases, most of them, like the difference between winning and losing the case is based on the knowledge you have, right?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things that the injured person can do that really can help their case or hurt their case, so knowledge is power.
Absolutely.
On that note, thanks, folks.
Knowledge is power.
Amelia, thanks for joining me. Folks,
Absolutely.
thanks for listening. And until next time. Thanks for listening. I truly hope that the information in the podcast helps you no matter the situation you find yourself in. But you might need more answers or some more direct help. So there are 3 ways for you easily to find out more and to get help. If you call my toll-free 24-hour helpline, 888-HURT-318, you'll have a couple of options. 888-HURT-318 is my toll-free 24-hour telephone line. You can call that number and speak with my team night or day. First, you can call 888-HURT-318, and you can speak to me for a free consultation about your case or situation. That's always free and no obligation. Second, you can tell the operator that you'd like a free copy of my injury DVD and book. I created the DVD and book, and I give it away for free to injured people who need answers, but who might not be ready to talk to a lawyer yet. Same deal, 100% free, 100% no obligation. Third and finally, you can check out my YouTube channel for informative videos about the injury case and claims process, or check out my other podcasts for more information and interesting interviews with people who know different things about various aspects of the law. I've put all of this together to help you and to answer your questions. Now, you can also help me, and I hope that you will. If you enjoyed the podcast and if it helped you at all, please subscribe, and if you can, take a minute and please post a positive review of the show. If you're listening to the podcast on YouTube, like the video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you know anyone who might enjoy the podcast, please spread the word and share it on Facebook. It's my mission to spread good information to as many people as possible, and your liking and reviewing and subscribing to the podcast helps me get the word out. Thanks again. This podcast is for informational and entertainment purposes only. It doesn't substitute for consulting with a lawyer. If you have a case, speak with a lawyer right away.